Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Anam Irfan and I'm from 7th semester Electrical Engineering Department. I would like to welcome you all to this demo video on the MATLAB Onramp course offered by MathWorks. So the first step towards this course is just search MATLAB Onramp course MathWorks on Google and go to this link. So, whether you're new to MATLAB or you just want to refresh your basics of MATLAB, I think this course is very useful and very helpful in a sense that you get hands-on experience with the basic and fundamental features of MATLAB by doing this course. And the best part is that it's free and it's a self-paced online course, and it is specifically designed to guide you step by step to the core concepts of MATLAB. So first of all, obviously you have to create your account if you want to take this course. You have to sign in or create a new one. Just go to this create one account and enter your email and password and create an account for yourself. After that, you can start your course, and in the end, you will be getting a certificate offered by MathWorks. So these are the course modules, the course overview, commands, MATLAB, desktop and editor. I will be explaining each and every module, and I will also be doing some of the tasks in this course. And in the end, inshallah, you will be able to complete this course on your own, and um, you will get a very uh, good guidance in order to how to perform basic commands and how to use functions or vectors, arrays, etc. in MATLAB. And you can also visualize your data by plotting your commands and you're using your data sets in MATLAB. So I will not be going towards the first module since it's just the overview, and I think everyone can just you just can go through it because this is just the overview and it covers the uh, basic it is basically a introductory module which helps you familiarize yourself with the main goal or the structure of this course. So it is basically about the guidance on how you navigate through the lessons and make the most out of your learning experience. So this second module is related to the commands. How will you be entering your commands, naming the variables, saving and loading your variables, and using the built-in function constants in MATLAB. So we will just start this module. First of all, you have to start this course. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, this is basically the interface of MATLAB. And this you get these tasks in MATLAB. You will be given these tasks in this course, and you have to perform each and every task, or end may you will go to the next section. So the first task is that we have to multiply the numbers 3 and 5. It is quite okay. First of all, this is your command window, and this is your workspace of MATLAB. Just like in MATLAB, in your workspace, you get to see all the variables that get stored and in which you perform all the calculations. And this is your command window. So the first task is quite easy. You just have to multiply 3 and 5 and you get the result, which is 15. And the default variable for storing any calculation is answer, ANS. So my answer is correct. I will be clicking on space to move towards task 2, which is basically to store your answer into some variable. So you will be writing the same command, m is equal to 3 static 5, and your answer 15 will be stored in this m is equal to 5. Task 3 is about the assignment operator. Okay, this equal to sign in MATLAB is the assignment operator, which means that this m, the value of this m plus 1 will be stored into this m or any other variable. It can be a, b, c. So in this case, our m is 15. So the value stored in this m will be 16. For example, m is equal to m plus 1. Sorry. Okay, if you give any wrong answer, you have to press escape and restart again. Our task 2 was to store value m is equal to 3 steric 5, which is 15. Now my next task is to store this value into, store this plus 1 value in m plus 1 m, which is 16. Okay, next task, I think you can easily perform the other tasks yourself. This is further practice. We'll move towards the next section. Okay, the next section is about naming the variables. It's quite easy. You just have to create a variable a and you just store -2 value in it. The next task is that you have to create a variable mean AA and you just have to store the value of this calculation. Mean AA is equal to A plus capital A. We are basically finding the mean value of these two variables. Moving towards the next section, it is related to saving and loading commands. So basically, in general, this command module is where you learn to enter the basic commands in MATLAB. And you will be performing calculations and creating variables. And you'll also explore that how you can save and load variables. And you can also use built-in functions of MATLAB, and we can also use constants in this first module. So all the tasks are related to these concepts so that you get a good grip on these commands. Task 1 is that you have to save all the variables in the workspace, which is data. We have only one variable, data, in our workspace, and we will be storing that using this save command, and file name will be, according to our task, is datafile.mat. So we are saving our workspace variables in this datafile.mat variable file. Our task 2 is to clear the command window. If you want to clear the workspace and you want to remove all the variables, you will just write clear in the command window, and now all your variables have been removed. Now our task 3 is to load the file in which we saved our variables. So we will just write load and our file name, which is datafile.mat. And you can see here we got our variable back. Okay, so in MATLAB, we have built-in functions and built-in constants. We will be performing calculation using that function and constant. One of the constant, a known constant is pi. So our task is to create a variable x with a value of pi by 2. So this pi represents the value of pi, which is 3.1416. So we have to create a variable x, which has the value of pi by 2, and we got this value, which is correct. Similarly, you can perform the other tasks. Okay, so our first module is complete. You can see this video, you'll get a better understanding. Our third module is related to the interface of the MATLAB. It is basically the module name is MATLAB Desktop and Editor module. So in this module, you'll learn to write, edit, and save your MATLAB programs. And it is basically related to exploring the layout of the MATLAB environment and using the editor to run scripts and learning basic debugging techniques to help fix any error in your code. So in instead of writing your code in command window and not being able to save it, you can use live editor in order to save your calculations into some file. So this live our task is to simple r is equal to 3, perform a calculation or save a value in the editor, just like we did in command window, and you just submit it. And now this file and this calculation has been stored into a file with the name create script in your laptop. Task 2 is to perform a simple calculation to the script, and after that you can save that. You can also do it on a command window, but if you want to save your calculations, then you can use the editor. Otherwise, the command window is always available. I will not be doing the other tasks in this module because they're quite similar and they're very basic. You can also debug your MATLAB code. You can find errors. If there's any error in the line of code, MATLAB will help you to indicate that error. Okay, moving towards arrays. So after reading it and after watching the video, you'll get a very broad concept of arrays, but arrays is basically a matrix. It may be a row and column matrix. And you should know that in MATLAB, the data is saved in the form of matrices or an array. So if you're saving x is equal to 4, this 4 is basically an array which is stored at the memory location of x. In this first task, they're asking us to create a variable named x with a value of 4, which is quite easy. We've done it. Then the second task is to create an array with the elements 3 and 5. You just simply have to write x is equal to these brackets, square brackets, 3 plus 5. You can also use comma or you can use space. Then task 3 is about separating your, you can read it, and this is the same thing. You can use colons. If you want to go to the second column, you will be using this semicolon. This first set represents the first row, and after this column, this represents the second row. So this is basically 2 rows. Okay, one important thing is that if you want to create a large data set, because if in future if you're using MATLAB, you will be dealing with large data sets, and for that you cannot enter data manually by entering it manually. So for that you will be using this command, this technique, which is by using columns. So 20 colon 2 colon 26 shows that we will be getting an array that starts from 20. This is basically the range from 20 to 26. So we will be getting an array from 20 to 26 with a step or an increment of 2. So we will be getting an array 20, 22, 24, 26. Okay, if you're not entering any step or any increment size, then by default in MATLAB it is 1. So you should keep that in mind. Okay, another command is another function of MATLAB is line space. So if you want to create an array in which you want to decide how many elements should be there in the matrix, and you know the first and last element, you know the range, and you want to decide how many elements should be there in the array. So you will be using line space. For that you will be entering the first and last number, and just like here, 0 to 1. So your range is 0 to 1, and you want 5 elements in between. So you will be getting 0 to 1 with 5 elements in the array. So you will be getting 0 0.2, 0 0.5, and 0 0.750. This module is basically about entering arrays and creating evenly spaced vectors and using functions to create arrays automatically, because MATLAB is very useful when we use functions in order to perform calculations. Just like here, we are asked to use this random function. This random function basically provides us a matrix of the x, y, z, any number you can add 4, 5, 6 order. So this 2 represents the order of your matrix. This 2 will give us 2 cross 2 matrix. And rand basically shows random numbers. So we will be getting a random number matrix with the order 2. Our task is to create a variable x that is a 5 by 5 matrix. So you will be writing 5 here instead of 2. Okay, array indexing and modification. This is the next module. Basically, if you want to extract any data from an existing data set, so this module is related to that. You'll focus on extracting and modifying elements in arrays, and you'll learn how to index into arrays, extracting multiple elements at once. Okay? So our first task is that you have to create a variable x that contains the value in the 6th row and 3rd column. So basically, I have a data set which has an order of 7 cross 4, and I am being asked to create, basically extract another data set from it with variable x, and it should be ranging from the 6th row and 3rd column. So for that, I have this simple command x. I will be writing x is equal to data, which is my variable name from which I will be extracting my data, the row number, which is 6 colon 3. Okay, so you can also use this colon operator, which is basically useful. For example, if you want to, for example, here, uh, create a column vector named density that contains all the elements from the 2nd column of the matrix named data. This code creates a column vector containing all the elements from the 1st column of A. Okay. Basically, this colon operator shows the, basically, this colon operator means for all. It uses, it basically considers all the elements till the number 1. So